Okay, let's go.
Let's go, Broncos! What is up, Broncos country? I'm your host, Fanatic Dak. That's my boy Kinley joining me on a Monday, recording this baby. Happy Victory Monday. I'm ecstatic. We go into Philly. Yeah. And the Denver Broncos stun Philadelphia. Give me your thoughts. How are you feeling? Talk to me, my bro. How are you feeling about that game?
I'm over the moon. I'll tell you what, I am ecstatic. That was a big dub for us. The first three quarters was a bit shaky, but we pulled it together when it counted. That fourth quarter, phenomenal play, a full team effort. Full team effort. Bo, Dobbins, the defense, Cortland Sutton, give them all their flowers because this team showed grit, fight, and finally won on the road versus a good team.
Man, I was really at the edge of my seat watching this game, bro. We were down 17-3, and I was just like, what's the narrative going to be after today, Oh, we can't get over the same old Broncos, just can't get over the hunch, beating a team 500 or better, the tireless narrative that would have continued on and on and on. And You know what the Denver Broncos did? And Bo Nix and the offense and the defense, just all of the organization, were like, hold on, stop what you're doing right there. Hold my beer.
Yep.
We got this. The defense, man, electric. But the defense showed up when the game was on the line. The offense showed up when the game was on the line. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. This is something with the young team that, as a fan, I was waiting to see, bro. And I'm sure maybe media members, what have you, all of Broncos country were playing the wait and see game. And you know what? They did not disappoint. We're 3-2. So, and we're tied for first at the top of the division, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
So, yeah, dude, I'm excited. We did have two players, though, going into this game. You had J.K. Dobbins as a guy, as a gridiron man, X-Man of the game. My player was Nick Bonito. Bro, how did J.K. Dobbins show out, bro? Tell me about that.
JK, I thought he played a phenomenal game. 20 carries, 79 yards and the touchdown. He was running the ball hard. Vision was great. He was a great pickup for us. Like an extremely great pickup for us. And I hope he continues to do well. But he was one of the key factors of us winning this game.
Yeah, I agree. My guy going into this game was Nick Bonito, the Defensive Player of the Year. Campaign continues, ladies and gentlemen. 2.5 sacks. Right, 2.5 sacks, bro. We're like, I think I how do I get the other half?
Yeah.
But anyways, 2.5 sacks, bro. And I did some math, and I'll have to go down the line, ladies and gentlemen, how you get that number. I'll show you one of these days. But the man is on pace for 24 sacks on the season, ladies and gentlemen. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and you really got to hand it off. You really gotta give a shout out to VJ and the whole defense as a whole, because coming out, it's 10-3. Offense still wasn't doing much in that third quarter. And then you give up a wheel route touchdown to Saquon Barkley on who? Of course, Alex Singleton, our Achilles heel. And for that defense, everything looked downhill from there. 17-3, fans started, especially on Twitter, saying, this game is over. We're not going to be able to come back. We're not going to be able to do anything. This defense and how Vance Joseph adjusted and bottled up Hurts, kept them in the pocket, how they just went along the game. Like, you never saw them quit. You never saw them give up. It was just a beautiful defensive effort as a whole. Nick Bonito, Jaquan, PS2, E-line did great. Now, did Philly do us favors by only giving Saquon 6 carries for 33 yards? Yes. We really appreciate that. But we talked about it. We have to force Philly to throw the ball. We talked about it, and at first they were doing it. We were kind of shocked. Moss definitely had a bad game, and I know you want to pull it up.
Yeah, let's get into this.
Yep.
This is a question that I think needs to be asked, Broncos country. Is this time to panic for Riley Moss? Here's the question. What do you think, Kinley? Is it time to panic, or is it just that Devontae Smith gives fits to any other cornerback too, really? Like, he's a speedy guy. You can't really do cover him and press. I don't know why Vance Joseph had
17. We won't talk about it. Yeah, well, I guess we'll bring it up since you brought it up. Yeah, it's 3rd and 17, and we're pressing Devontae Smith. I don't understand that. But hey, we overcame it. Is it time to panic? I would say it's time. Of course, you got to give respect to Devontae Smith. He is an outstanding receiver. The fact that Moss is giving up a lot of catches. Some came back cause of penalty, but we talked about how Moss struggles against big receivers, because like he's there, but he just can't, knock the ball away. Smith isn't that big, and he was still getting mossed on, which concerns me. It concerns me a bit, and we can't continue this. Well, he's playing on the other side of PS2. He's going to get balls thrown his way. I understand that, but you have to start defending. You have to be. I want Moss to be more of a playmaker. Get that head around. Sometimes just sticking your arm in there is not working. But I just say it's time to panic a little bit. I would like to see more Jade, and I'm not trying to be because I'm a Texas guy. But Jade is starting to make plays out there. I watched him shed they tried to run a screen play. Okay, wide receiver screen. I watched him shed a tackle. Lane Johnson.
Johnson? What?
Right. I watched him shed the tackle and stop the screen and get the tackle. Tackle for a loss, by the way. Jade showed out. He only played 10 snaps on defense. That's unacceptable for a first-round pick. I got to see him on the field more, especially when Moss is struggling in the game. No, I'm not saying take Moss out, but help Moss out a little bit. Stop leaving him on that island so much.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying bench Moss. Am I saying it's time to panic a little bit? Yes, it is time to panic a little bit, but do more things to help Moss and get Jade out there more because he showed out versus Philly yesterday.
I do feel like Riley Moss will take this on the chin, ladies and gentlemen. And in my opinion, I think he'll be better for it. We can all learn. You can always learn from a win, mind you, too. And I think Riley Moss will do just that. I have the utmost confidence. I'm not really in a panic mode, to be honest. That's just me. But, man, I do want Jalen Hurts, 30 passing attempts with 23 completions, 280 yards, mind you, with 2 touchdown passes. He was sacked 6 times, though. The Philadelphia Eagles, with some talk within Philadelphia about them struggling as a passing team, I think they kind of went towards that direction to kind of show off like, hey, no, we're not struggling. They were able to move the ball in the first half. It kind of felt like, they were kind of getting a little bit what they wanted at times in big moments, I felt like in the first half. But I felt like we shut the water down, in the second half. But yeah, I'll tip my cap to Jalen Hurts, the Eagles wide receivers. They were a team that I circled on the upcoming schedule when the schedule came out as a wide receiver corps that could give the Broncos secondary fits. So tip my cap to them, but it wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. Should have gave the rock to Saquon Barkley. I'm just saying.
God you did. Thank God you did. We appreciate it. We appreciate that. Yeah.
Because you did see the yards that Saquon was getting. I mean, 30 yards.
5 yards a carry.
Yeah. How do you stop giving? Anyways.
We won't get into that.
So, with this win, are the Denver Broncos Super Bowl contenders? And ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are watching this, please let us know your thoughts. We always care what you guys have to say. We don't ignore any comments. We are very diligent of answering as quickly as we can. So, what do you think, bro?
Oh man, this is a tough one because those those two tough losses that we took, and we shot ourselves in the foot, but we bounced back these last 2 weeks. I just want to get in the dance. I won't say it yet. I just
Okay.
want to get to the playoffs, and we'll see. Do I believe we can be Super Bowl contenders? Yes. With this defense in the run, you know what? Scratch that. Scratch it. I'm going to say yes. Okay, because I was about to give a perfect example, and it's going to be like, well, it sounds like you're saying it. I'm going to say yes, we are Super Bowl contenders, because really all you need is a defense and a ground game. You have those two formulas, you can get all the way to the dance and win. Okay. And it seems like we're starting to get a ground game now. And with our defense playing how they're playing, they're starting to find their footing and
They're
starting to
starting to create
dominate.
their own identity. Cortland
Yeah.
Sutton's involved, J.K. Dobbins involved. But you know what, bro? You can always add on to your identity, right? And you can always make it better. And you know who was involved yesterday? They were targeted 6 times. Evan Ingram, who, ladies and gentlemen, got his first touchdown as a Denver Bronco to tie the game. Good job, Evan Ingram. That's what I want to see. He made some big time catches. So shout out to him. I'm excited of what could be what this offense could be as he gets more increased reps. I think more volume in terms of getting the ball. You know what I mean? So
You got to
I'm
ask
excited,
yourself.
bro.
You got to ask yourself, when was the last time we had a tight end? Ingram catches that ball at like the 8 or 9 yard line. There's a D tackle coming, like literally diving at him. He shakes off the defensive tackle, gets upfield and scores. If that is Troutman, Atkins, Kroll, they're not scoring on that play.
Short. They'll be short.
Like, they're not scoring. Let's be honest.
They don't have the athleticism. They don't have the athleticism that Evan Ingram has. Let's call it what it is. Like it makes a difference. It's a game of inches, and that mattered. That play right there, that Evan Ingram stretching out for the touchdown. Good play. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. This was a big win. This was a very big win, man.
Well, hold on? You got to answer the question too. Are you saying that we're Super Bowl contenders?
Are the Denver Broncos colors orange and blue? Hell yes, we're contenders. I had to, bro. Like, I know I'm very outgoing. I'm crazy sometimes. I'm just quite a joker, ladies and gentlemen. But all seriousness, we have a defense that was highly touted going into this season. They've had times where they've struggled. They've shot themselves in the foot. But sometimes you just need to get over that hump to get that confidence, to be like, you know what, we can do this. And you know what, even with those 2 games that they lost to the Chargers and the Colts, they stuck together, bro. And that's what a team does. That's what a Super Bowl contending team does, ladies and gentlemen. They stick together. The culture that they have, phenomenal. This offense, if you can run the ball like Kinley got a touchdown, and then you just, you have Cortland Sutton, who's a baller, man. Like a lot of people on the timeline, X timeline, I don't really pay attention too much to, but he balled out, dude. He did his thing against Quinyon Mitchell.
Oh, that man an apology. That's what you need to say, because all the Cortland Sutton slander and he doesn't deserve that money. The man was targeted 10 times yesterday, 8 receptions for 99 yards. And with those 8 catches, 5 of those went for first downs, people. Chain mover. And speaking of the game, Bo struggled in the first half, and a little bit going into the third quarter. But fourth quarter, Bo, if we can get fourth quarter Bo to play like that for all 4 quarters, I'm gonna say we're Super Bowl contenders, because Bo, I believe, in the fourth quarter was 9 for 10, 126 yards, 3 for 3 in scoring drives.
Dude, the laser that he had, was it to Sutton, bro? Oh my
God! On 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15, the laser that he had just threw in there.
I didn't see people talk about. Everybody want to talk about Bo's feet, but I sure didn't see much about his feet in yesterday's game.
He did a good job, bro. I think with his mechanics. I mean, of course, there's always things you can look at a game and you can probably touch on, but we're not going to do that.
Right.
He looked like he was anchoring down and making the throws when needed, bro. Like you didn't really see him like lift off his leg, kind of like going through the motion kind of thing. Where his back right foot when he throws kind of lifts off the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really anchored down. I didn't see really too much of that. So yeah, dude, I'm excited. You know, one thing I do want to point out to that the commentators like Tony Romo, Jim Nance, right? We're talking was Romo, I think it was. Um, Vic Fangio made the comparison or said that Bo Nix reminded him of Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
And if you give me a Baker Mayfield, I'm running to the podium with that. Yes, please. If that's anything what Bo Nix is, hell yes, I'm taking it. I don't know about you, bro, but that's what I'm feeling. And I like it.
I think he said like Baker's little brother. I believe that's what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
And you know what? And that's fine. You know, I'll take that also. But as you know, like Bo sees where he's going wrong, and he does what he needs to do to get better. And if Sean Payton can continue to, if he continues to run the ball and help Bo out, like yesterday's game, he almost passed us out of the game. You have the stat, right? What was the passing to run ratio in the
It
first
was
half?
21 passes to 10 rushing attempts in the first half.
Like, you know, I think this identity needs to be we're a running team, run first team. Like, I understand Sean likes to pass the ball, but you got back into the game running the ball,
And I know
feeding Dobbins
sometimes,
and
and I know
giving
some,
Dobbins more.
yeah, and I know sometimes Sean Payton, like some of the runs that we were getting, like you see, RJ Harvey didn't really get much going yesterday, and that's sometimes just the way it goes in this game, you
That
know.
happens.
Yeah, but sometimes I think Sean Payton tries to utilize the pass as an extension of the run game, you know,
Yeah.
with the screen game, which I can get, you know, and that's why it seems like the pass is so skewed, you know, sometimes. But when you don't have much going on with the run, which I felt like, man, watching that Philadelphia Eagles defense, their linebackers and their corners were just closing space
Oh
so damn
God.
quick.
They
I felt like
closed too
windows
well.
were closing fairly quick too for Bo, dude. Like despite the game he had.
Yeah, I watched
Something
out.
to keep in mind.
It was like third and 21, and we needed to get in the field goal range, and they had Mims come on a little slant underneath everything, and Bo hits him, and Zach Bond closes down so fast, and like I think Mims only gained like 5 yards, and it's like I wish we had a linebacker that can do that to be able to close in space on one of our fastest guys on the team and get that tackle. I think that was just phenomenal linebacker play. And like you're right, Philadelphia defense, hats off to them because they was flying around everywhere. But literally, I thought it was a big call by Sean Payton to go for two after we scored that touchdown with Evan Ingram. I'll tell you that now. Sean Payton wanted to win that game, and I love the
Yeah.
call.
And
Was
you know
I
what?
was I at first like, whoa, yeah, but when we converted, I
I
said,
was
Sean
like,
won't win this game.
oh shit,
Look
Sean!
at the cojones on this man.
Cojones, bro. No, bro, and like, you need to get to win big games. You need to make big calls. Like
Right.
that's what it is. If you want to be that up there, sometimes it takes balls, ladies and gentlemen, to and then you got to go down. You know what I like about Sean Payton is he's gonna go down swinging, right? Like you ain't just gonna be like, oh, we're playing not to lose. Like I like this version of Sean Payton. Like I really like it a lot. I like it a lot. Speaking of, but let's touch on the defense. Like, well, Nick Bonito, on pace for 24 sacks. Will he have? Will Nick Bonito have more than 20 sacks? But first, the last player to have over 20 plus sacks was TJ Watt with 22 and a half in 2021, tying Michael Strahan back in 2001. Just to let you guys know, I did a little bit of homework. What do you think? Will Nick Bonito have more than 20 sacks this season?
I mean, right now it looks like it. He's on a tear right now. Hope he stay healthy. You know, if he continues to do what he continues to do, and his D line also stays healthy, he can
Yeah.
continue to get those one-on-one matchups. I don't see why he can't. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to
Okay.
say yes. I think
You
Benito
heard it
can get
here,
more than
ladies and
20
gentlemen.
plus sacks. Yes.
You heard it here with Kinley saying that he'll have more than 20 plus sacks. So yeah, that's solid, bro. I like that. I like that take. Yeah, he's on pace to it's crazy, bro. So and it was funny. You and I were talking behind the scenes last night, just in general, and you and I were like talking about a conversation that about what if the Broncos lost to the Chargers and Colts that I had brought up, and beat the Eagles. And you brought that whole scenario up when we were chatting. I was like, did I say that well? I guess I did. And look how it just
pissed me
at
off.
the time, though. You
spoke it into existence. I don't need you to speak nothing else into existence, okay? Unless it's a Super Bowl championship.
Keep your damn mouth shut, Dakota.
Yeah, I need you to be quiet, okay? I need you to be quiet. Unless you say we win in the Super Bowl, I hope that's right. You know.
God, it's funny, dude. It's good times. And you can always cheer after a big win, though, man. I'm feeling sky high, mile high. This is probably what, no, not probably. This is the biggest win in Sean Payton and Bo's era, and in general for the Broncos since Super Bowl 50, bro. It's amazing, dude, how far we've come. So on to the next, though, and we got the New York Jets in London. London Bridge is falling down. Anyway. Anything else for the pod, bro? Do you got anything else for our
No, that's it. You guys leave your comments down below the questions that we posted. We really want to hear from you guys. You can subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on Twitter at Buck'emPod. We have a TikTok. Follow us there at Buck'emPod. We appreciate y'all for tuning into the episode today. Yes. And remember, if it ain't about the Broncos,
Buck 'em.
Peace.
My high salute, y'all.